This guy, like all trial attorneys, loves a good car accident from the Angell Law Firm. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Bryce Angell. Come on, give it up.
All right. That light's bright. So many familiar faces. This is good. This makes it a little easier. You know, at first you never know what you're getting into. But for those that don't know me, my name is Bryce Angell. And I know that name sounds a lot like a guy who convinced his chemistry buddy to invent roofies. But I digress. So first name's Bryce, and a lot of people hear that name like, God, man, he's got to be a douchebag. But then they hear my last name, Angell, and they're like, he's definitely a douchebag. I mean, look at his hair. It's like it almost knew how much he was going to inherit. I mean, the hair makes me look like I need to join a support group for people who peaked in high school. So I did. It's called CrossFit. So, speaking of high school, when I was in high school, I did a senior prank, and I let 20,000 crickets go in the cafeteria. And I thought for sure I was going to get in trouble. But I went to high school in Aiken, South Carolina, and didn't get in trouble because the teachers were just happy to get free bait. Go figure. So now I'm here doing comedy, and the last thing I want to hear after a joke is crickets. So here we go. You know, when I was 21, I was arrested for pissing in public. That's happened, and it was at the Carolina Cup. So for many of you who don't know what the Carolina Cup is, it's this fancy horse race in South Carolina, and man, they got me good. I mean, there is no white privilege when everybody there is white. I mean, they may as well have just called it Cracker Cup. You know, and the worst part, you know, when you do stupid things when you're a kid, they kind of stick with you for a while. And I now have to send my kids to private school because I'm not allowed within 300 yards of a public elementary school. It is. Hey, there's a silver lining to all this, though. I know all my neighbors because I'm legally obligated to introduce myself. It's just how it works in the legal system. So you know, when I was younger, I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to join the military. I wanted to go to the military and fly airplanes. And then I just realized I couldn't stomach, you know, having a drill sergeant yelling at me. I know you know what I'm talking about. And, you know, I didn't want to do endless push-ups. And quite honestly, I don't think I could have passed a drug test. So now the only yelling I get is from my wife when she sees the bill for the jet fuel. So, you know, speaking of my wife, I got to talk about her for a little bit. So I met my wife, probably like a lot of you folks have, on an illegal road race from Los Angeles to Miami called the Bull Run. And I realized, you know, the race was a lot like marriage. It was expensive, it was dangerous, and by the end of it, we're just sick of each other and looking forward to Miami. Ugh, she's not going to like that line. I'm probably getting divorced now. This is not good. But the funny thing is, you know, my wife's beautiful. She's amazing. She's a former model. She's intelligent. She went to UC Berkeley. She studied anthropology and cultures. I study culture, like the Ferrari culture, the private jet culture. I mean, you know, I think pretty much all cultures are equal. As long as you have a prenup, I think you're good. So I gotta confess, so I think it's probably time for a midlife crisis. I'm 42 years old, and about due for one. The issue is I've been flying planes since I was 15. I've owned sports cars my whole life. I married a model, so really my whole life has been a midlife crisis. So, I mean, it's been a good run, but I think my midlife crisis is something a little more boring, like driving a minivan or cutting out coupons or having an affair with a local stripper named Candy. I don't know. Just kidding, Candy. I love you. Sorry. She's out there. Wife's giving her a dirty look right now, I think. But honestly, you know, I have to be honest with you. I'm a trial attorney, and I might chase an ambulance time or two here and there, but all my clients go home in a limo. At least when I'm... At least when I'm dropping them off.
I'll find some.
I mean, for an extra 5%, seems reasonable. I don't know. But speaking of clients, I had a client, this is a real case, this is a true story. So guy calls me up and says, look, I want to sue because my penile implant is activating irregularly at times it shouldn't be. And I'm like, how did this happen? Well, I fell in a pothole, and ever since then, the pump's just not working. So I'm like listening to the story, and I got to agree, like, man, it's got to be hard. I mean, you know, we all know how annoying pop-ups can be. I mean, who wants to constantly be reminded of middle school? I mean, just not good. And the worst part is his wife wouldn't go anywhere with him. I mean, she's just worried about what's going to happen. She wouldn't go to Walmart with him. I'm like, shit, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what's wrong? I mean, who cares about a boner at Walmart? Like, that didn't even make the top 3 list of things that are weird at Walmart. Thank y'all very much. It's been great. And that was a quick 5 minutes.
Keep it going for Bryce Angell, everybody. Angell with 2 L's.